and welcome back to Date with the Divas. We have some hot topics to discuss with you viewers, and I hope you have your beverage of choice at the ready because we have some hot topics. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like our videos. So let's start. Marnita, what you got for us?
Okay, we are starting fresh off the presses. I've already told y'all, spoiler alert, we record on Wednesday. So today we have learned that Sidora and Ralph Pittman have filed for a divorce. So here's a picture of Drew and Ralph in their happier days.
Nice picture of them. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, they were at the premiere for her Lifetime movie Line Sisters. You know, I watched it. It was Lifetime. So let me ask all you divas. We talked about it a little bit. Do you guys all watch Housewives of Atlanta? Are you familiar with Drew and Ralph?
Yeah.
Okay. We got yeses across the board. So for our viewers, if you are not familiar with Drew and Ralph, Drew Sidora, I think this season coming up will be her third season of Housewives of Atlanta. So we met her 2 seasons ago. And one of her very first storylines was that she and her husband, Ralph, had gotten in an argument. He left the house for 3 days. She didn't know where he was. Couldn't get in touch with him. When she asked him, he said, I went to the beach. She's like, what beach? This is Atlanta. He's like, I went to Tampa. So that was a thing throughout the whole first season, was this
That's how we met her.
Exactly. Mysterious Tampa trip. Second season, one of the first storylines is that Drew found an inappropriate text from her husband's assistant to him, something about giving him a massage. And he tried to, oh no, I told her to get somebody to get a massage, and then she couldn't get it, and then she said she would do it herself. And you know, Drew was obviously upset about it. I don't remember this, but according to an article that I read on people.com today, she said that when she found the text, Drew went to Chicago for 3 days. So that's a thing. They just run away. She was upset. She went to Chicago for 3 days. And so that was a whole thing throughout that their next season was this whole mysterious text, this seemingly inappropriate relationship with the assistant who Ralph later said that he fired. And then Bravo editors would point out how Ralph would gaslight Drew. He would just make her believe that things that were right there in her face were not real, were not happening. So, divas, did we see this coming?
I thought it should have come, but I didn't know if Drew would actually go through with it. If she did, I don't know. Do we know? Did she file?
Yes.
So here's, all day I've been seeing the headlines that Ralph filed, but according to TMZ, Drew filed an hour before he did.
Right.
They said she filed an hour and a minute before he filed, but they list different separation dates. She listed, sorry, let me pull up my notes here.
That is so petty. That is so Ralph to go
she listed February 23rd as their separation date. He listed February 19th. So, you know, a couple days off with their separation date, but yeah,
what did they list as the reason for divorce? What did they list it as?
They didn't really put the reason, but they both said that it's not, there's no chance for reconciliation.
Yeah, something, you know,
I have to say, I think I saw it coming. I was shocked when I saw the headline, but I was like, yeah, I knew they wasn't going. I knew she was going to have at least a season not being married to Ralph, which it probably won't be this season.
So soon.
Right. You know, we may see some of them falling apart this season.
So did you think we would see her single this soon?
I knew we would see it on the show. So I guess I didn't think it was going to happen this week, but
I think it was going to be this soon. I did, because it seemed like it kept escalating every year, it seems like, you know, and he's, you know, and the way people kept opening up her eyes more and more to his manipulation. And
Did you feel like her eyes were open?
I feel like she might be in denial.
No, yeah, I think she had to look.
Yeah.
She had to admit that she had to see it because there was no denying
I
it
think
with
there
people.
were, but then he just kept putting it in her ear of like, he kept doing that thing of getting mad every time she would bring it up. Like, you know, I want better communication. Oh my God, why, how dare you bring us up? And it's like, dude, so it was just weird. But I kind of, her marriage reminded me, I don't know if y'all remember Portia's first season when she was married to Cordell. Like, it reminded me of that. It was like, there's a different Drew in there. You don't think so?
No, I just never thought about it. I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah, I feel like there's a different different Drew in there that I'm excited to see. Not, I'm sorry, I'm not wishing like any ill on her or whatever, but once she's over this divorce and like can be this person that's not like under her husband's reign, you know, I think it'll be a little different.
Drew too much credit.
You think we're giving Drew too much
in terms of seeing this coming, I think everybody with eyeballs could see this coming. I was shocked because I thought they would take advantage of the opportunity. Ralph to be on TV, married to Drew, and this was Drew's only storyline was her marriage, as you very eloquently illustrated. I don't know what we're going to see from Drew because her whole identity is wrapped around being a wife.
But I feel like that was how Portia was when she came on.
Right, but I feel like Portia showed us other parts of herself in addition to being Cordell's wife, and didn't use, I feel like Drew uses it like as leverage over the other women, that she's in a happy marriage.
That's true. Now that part is true. So she ain't gonna be able to use that anymore.
So I think that's what will be her other thing is, you know, her acting stuff. Maybe she'll start doing more acting gigs more often.
I think she was just in a movie that I heard that she was in a movie that Candy produced.
But I will also say too, though, like me and a few other fans believe that some of these storylines between her and her husband were probably fake and made up because it just seemed like too implausible. Like, you really tolerate all this nonsense? Like, it is just so conveniently happening while filming or right around when filming starts or something like that, and nothing else going on with your life but this whole thing, and you're tolerating this nonsense from this.
And we talking about it all season,
right? Because it's like 1 minute she's like, "You're terrible," blah blah blah. The next minute, "Oh, I love him so much. He treats me to this. He cooked me dinner this tonight. Yay!" It's like so back and forth.
Both things can be true.
Yes.
Yes.
I think
You're right.
What women will put up with to keep a husband.
Right.
Yes.
Good-looking, charming husband.
To keep trying to work it out. Keep hoping that he'll change.
Especially once you get into the public eye, it's like, oh shit, we got to work this out.
And what I want to ask Drew is, now that this has happened, I'm gonna play Andy Cohen for a second, even though Drew's not here to answer the question. Aren't you glad you weren't able to bully Ralph into adopting your child?
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought about.
But maybe that's what she wanted to.
Because he was going to leave her?
I think so. Like, okay, like, my parents are not together. Like my biological parents are not together. I've never, and maybe just because my age, I've never thought of like, oh, my dad's wife should now adopt me. Like, I've never thought of that. And so I thought it was really weird that she kept pushing it, because I was like, if you're together with him, if you guys are a couple, then what does it matter if he adopts him or not? But now if you guys aren't together and he did adopt him, then yes, he's financially responsible.
Oh, you think Drew saw the divorce coming and locked in
and wanted to, because I'm like, why else?
Because that's part of his thing too, because he's saying that he doesn't agree with what she wants for support. He's saying like she's got the money and this, that, and the third, and so that's part of their discussions in this divorce. So she could be thinking of that too,
which is strange, because she always, I feel like everyone in the Housewives cast thought that she had the money, thought that he had the money, because I remember Candy saying, like, Candy was like, oh, Drew is always talking about Ralph's businesses and stuff and saying that Ralph owns the house. And so she was like, I assume that Ralph makes the money. And
What
so
good is that? Ralph is a big liar. Like,
Apparently, right?
right. Because yeah, now he's
But
saying that he
going
doesn't
back
make
to the adoption thing, I wasn't clear that number one, Drew initiated him wanting that. He was always talking about how he considered the boy his own, number one. So I just assumed he initiated the talk about adopting his son. Number two, Drew may have wanted that for her son if her son wanted that to feel part of the family. You know, it's not a he's your father and not my father thing.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, but I think the part of the tension between the two of them last season was he didn't feel comfortable because the natural father, the
Right.
boy's father wasn't
Right.
okay with it. And so he was like, I'm not going to do it. And Drew was upset with him because he wasn't going to adopt her son. And I just felt like, should you be pressuring somebody to adopt a child? That's a big commitment.
that's I always thought that was really weird. Like they
Yeah. Well, number one, if the father didn't want him to adopt him, he couldn't adopt him. You can't adopt someone's child
Exactly.
without their permission.
Yeah.
So I never understood that part of the story. What he was saying. Well, he didn't want to. I didn't understand. I never heard that the natural father didn't want the adoption.
Yeah, that was Ralph's reason for
Right.
not.
Man.
No. Ralph, he didn't say the father didn't want to. Ralph said he felt bad because
No,
the
he
boy
did.
had a father.
No,
He said I
Nicole.
had he told Drew I had lunch with him or something.
Right. Yeah.
He like
Oh.
behind Drew's back, or not without Drew knowing, met
Yeah,
up
Drew
with the
was
father.
upset that he went to the father instead of just dealing with her. And he was like, I'm not going to adopt another man's son without having
Right.
a conversation with him about it, which I
And
agree.
that, yeah. And
Yeah.
that's when I thought it got really weird, because Drew was really still mad, like, oh, you're not adopting Josiah. And like you said, I'm like, well, how is he gonna do it
Yeah.
if his father's
That
in the
was
picture?
part of her storyline. So she needed to milk it out for 6 episodes. Come on, ladies. Come on.
And then, like,
Must
how
have
does
fallen
that
asleep during
sound?
that
Like,
section.
Yeah.
how does that sound? You're forcing this person to adopt your child, and the person is like, nah. But
You know what I thought?
what
I
does that
thought she was
look like?
upset because he had promised her son, and now her son was disappointed. That's what I thought was
She
going
kind of
on.
said, I think she did say that at a point. She was like, yeah, you said you were gonna do it. But then when he was shooting the cover for his book or something. Cause I remember it was her and her mom went to the photo shoot, and he explained to them like, no, I met with Josiah's dad. I think that's his name. He was like, I met with Josiah's dad and he doesn't want me to adopt him. Like, he's not comfortable with it. And then she was just still upset. And like I said, I was just like,
Yeah, that is
like,
weird.
my stepmom's never adopted me. She's still my mom. Like,
Stepmothers and stepfathers and get adopted.
Storyline. I mean, we didn't have much going on in that season.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
feeling you, Alicia. Storyline. Yes.
So it'll be
Because- but-
interesting to see what we see of Drew on her own.
yeah.
Yeah. But that probably won't be until not this season, but the following season after that, because
following
they're gonna show the
season.
divorce this season.
So
Let's
do
be
you
honest.
guys think we're going to see the beginnings of the breakup this current season?
I think we saw it the first season they were all
No, I mean the real,
right.
not the fake ones, because y'all are accusing her of faking the file. Are you
Well,
gonna
if it was in
struggle this
February,
current
I
season?
guess so. We're supposed to.
Have they started filming already? Okay.
It's done.
Yeah. I think they're like well into filming already.
Oh, I heard
I
they
think.
were wrapped.
Say what?
I heard they had wrapped. I'm sorry.
Oh,
They're still
okay.
filming? I didn't know that.
I could be wrong. I heard that they were doing their confessional looks, but I don't know. I guess that probably happens afterwards. Well, we are going to move on.
Story where we hear about it at the end, at the reunion.
Exactly.
Right.
Little 30-minute special or something. All right, ladies, we are going to move on. We are going to move on to Miss Monique. She's back in the headlines again.
Mhm.
Netflix has announced that they have a new special coming out with Monique. So for those of y'all who don't remember, in 2017, Netflix offered her $500,000 for a stand-up special. She denied the offer. She called it discriminatory and lowball. She filed a gender and racial discrimination suit, citing millions of dollars have been paid to comedians like Amy Schumer, Ricky Gervais, Ellen DeGeneres, Dave Chappelle. In 2020, a federal judge denied the streamer's second motion to throw the suit out. They said that Monique After Monique spoke out, they felt that Netflix retaliated by not negotiating with her like they would with anyone else. A settlement was announced last month, but the terms were not disclosed. So now we see that she is doing a special with her. I'm not sure.
Probably part of the settlement.
Right. If y'all were suing a company, would you work with them afterwards?
This is just what I said. A person said, nah, I don't want your kid, but I'm begging you to adopt my kid. Do you really want this person to adopt your kid? Estelle just told you, no, I don't want you. And here you like, hey, I'm here. I don't know. Maybe it's vindication for her. I don't know. But
that's what I was thinking. I was like,
Right.
maybe it is like, oh no, I did just want my money, you guys. You see?
But we don't know how much money she's getting for it.
I don't know.
I thought I
didn't see-
heard
Sealed.
somewhere, but I don't remember the amount.
It should be sealed, I'm sure. It should legally be
they
sealed.
probably making
Wouldn't it be
clauses.
sad if it was like for 555,000?
It was like just a little bit more.
Right. Right.
Because I secretly feel like Monique wishes she had just taken the original deal and kept her career intact, because maybe she'd have got more on the next.
Right.
Now I feel like she likes now, you know what I mean, standing up for things and causing waves in the industry. Like it's now her
Principle.
reputation at this point. Like, I mean, you go all in or out.
You don't get to make any money? Like,
She's making money. I mean, she's also doing a movie on Netflix too, not just a special. She's also doing a movie with Lee Daniels on there. So
Right.
I thought Monique's issue has never been getting work. I thought Monique's issue was getting compensated according to her Oscar legendary status.
Yes, I think so.
At least she wanted
It
20.
was until she started speaking up. Then she says she was blackballed
mm.
after that.
Yeah, but she wanted Amy Schumer money. She wanted Chris Chappelle, Dave Chappelle money,
Chappelle,
Chris
right.
Rock money. She wanted those $20 million checks because she was an Oscar winner.
So do you think that now people are like, this is why it's hard for Black people to get Oscars because they're all gonna act like Monique?
I hope not. I don't think
Mm,
so.
No,
I hope
I
not.
see you like to
No.
stir the pot, girl.
I know what you're talking about. I'm very innocent.
Uh-huh.
This is what we
Hashtag don't
do,
give
right?
black
We
people
trying to
Oscars.
find some tea, right?
So like maybe I could be wrong. I feel like after that big brouhaha she made, asking us to boycott Netflix, she wanted us to get involved. We need to know how much are they paying you if you're going
Right.
to. Girl, did you get your money?
I
She's
would be like,
telling
I
the
would
people
be-
who boycotted.
I boycotted. I ain't never had Netflix.
Were you saying, Joe?
No, I would think that I would have a little bit more. I mean, not that she probably can't do it. Maybe Netflix can, tied her up and said, no, you can't say nothing if you're gonna do this. But just like you mentioned, I'm pulling you guys and saying, come on, come with me, and let's not use Netflix or what have you. And now here I am. So you got some splaining to do, Monique. You got some splaining.
Right. First you want to boycott it, now you want us to watch it now.
Right.
And maybe people will have a little bit more like, okay, well, here she comes, she's telling us, okay, look, this is what happened. I can't maybe tell you the nitty gritties, but this is what's going on. And maybe people might be like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's a much better deal than the one before, and I'm happy with this. I feel like I'm getting what I'm worth. It's kind of like Nene Leakes suing Bravo and saying they were racist, even though she was there a real long time making a lot of money. But she sued them and said they were racist, and then now she says she wants to go back. And it's like, wait, I thought they were racist.
Right. Like if they're
Right.
racist and it's hostile, why would you want to go back?
I just feel like
That's
some
true.
of these people are playing that card to get us riled up, just so
Right.
they can get a bigger paycheck.
And that's
Good
the
point.
boy
I
that
agree with
cried
you on that
wolf. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Right. Because then that's gonna mess it up for when we are really trying to
Exactly.
exactly like you said. Boy,
And
cry
think
wolf.
about all the poor people who actually gave up their Netflix on behalf of.
Right.
Thank
people
you.
behind the
And
scenes
now
working.
have to pay the new rate rather than being grandfathered in.
You know what? What if we have to pay that new rate because of this whole stupid lawsuit with Monique?
We got to pay your salary for these new stand-up specials, girl.
Right, right.
What did Joe say? You got some explaining to do, Monique.
Right, right. So let me ask you, would y'all be watching this thing or what? Because you
I
watch.
honestly and
Is it
truly
a
don't
com-
have
is it a
Netflix.
comedy special?
Yeah, it's a comedy
Yeah.
special.
Oh,
Mhm.
she's fire. Monique is very funny.
She's
So-
funny. She is funny. I
If I
think
can
she
get
will have
somebody's
some good
password,
material.
or if I can, if somebody having a party and they watching it, I'm down and we're watching it. But I honestly and truly do not have Netflix.
Maybe she might explain in her comedy thing.
Mhm.
I think she's going to have to bring it up a little bit, but I'm sure there's only certain things she can
Right.
say as part of that
She might
settlement.
say,
But
yeah.
viewers, let us know if y'all going to be watching or y'all hear from Monique's special. I forgot to cite my source. It was dateline.com for that one. So I'm going to cut this one short because this last one, we got a little bit to dive into. All right. Anybody catch Tamron Hall the other day?
No.
Tamron Hall with Larsa Pippen.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
Okay. She has a talk show, and her show, this episode was called Finding Love in the Least Expected Places. So Larsa Pippen was a guest. And of course, first thing they talked about was her romance with Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan.
Right.
For those viewers that don't know, Larsa Pippen is the ex-wife of Scottie Pippen. She is currently a Real Housewife of Miami, a mom, an entrepreneur. And I don't know what she thought she was going on the show to talk about, but Tamron got in that business. She got the
She got in the business.
Yes. So first off, Alicia, can you cue up that clip that I sent you?
Yeah, I need a clip.
You ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Please.
Able to live happy and go, just go wherever I want to go and not be judged every time I'm seen with
And
someone.
you should. I'm curious because when you start dating someone,
It's
even if they're
hard.
not- it is hard. It's also hard meeting their parents. Have you met Michael Jordan and Juanita Jordan, and what did they say about the relationship?
I don't really, of course, I recently have met, I've recently been hanging out with them. But I don't really want to talk about them. I feel like it's not about, my parents or his parents, they're all happy, our whole family's fine. I feel like it's more about like where I am, where he is. I feel like we're in a great place. We motivate each other. We're really happy being together. And I feel like that's the most important thing.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with that. I understand what you're saying because you are your own people. That said, he has a trophy store dedicated to his father.
It's like a
You
sneaker.
posted,
Yeah.
but you guys posted a picture with the number 23 behind you. There's only one number 23.
Right.
God bless. He walks around with those great Jordan shoes. That's his dad on there.
Mhm.
So he can't run from who he is.
Right.
And when I married my husband, he met my mom. My dad is in heaven, but he met my mom before we got into a full relationship. It's normal for people to ask, how did his mom respond? How did his
They're
dad
fine.
respond?
Everyone's fine.
They're cool with it.
Yeah, everyone. I think like when you're an adult, I think your parents just want to see you happy. My parents want to see me happy. His parents want to see him happy.
So you have their blessing.
Yeah, I feel like we're great. Yeah, I feel like we've spent holidays together and it's good. We're in a great place.
She said, I feel like.
I caught that.
You caught that, right?
Caught
Y'all
that.
caught that too, right?
But I also caught that she was almost kind of saying, I don't care what they think, basically. It was almost out of her mouth.
And that's very Larsa.
It was also just like, I don't want to talk about this. And it was like, girl, what did you think he was going to talk about?
Right.
What did you think you was going to talk about? You on a show talking about love in unexpected places. Maybe your PR should have been like, don't ask this question. So the interview went on and they started talking about Larsa's role on Real Housewives of Miami. And so Tamron is reading some notes and she is talking about these accusations against Larsa for the Real Housewives of Miami. She was like, you're on this show and people have accused you of, or you have allegedly accused your co-star of sleeping with everyone at her job. You have You try to ruin your other co-star's marriage. And Larsa tries to give the little answer of, we're 8 strong women and we support each other when we need to. And Tamron's like, support? I can't support somebody who tries to ruin my marriage or, calls me promiscuous and this and that. So it got a little heated and awkward. I couldn't find a clip of that. And so they go to commercial, and when they come back from commercial, Tamron's like, so Larsa said to me during the break that she feels like I'm being negative. And I want to give you a chance to explain that, because I don't think I'm being negative. I'm just reading the cards and asking you questions. Like, it was tense. That's what made me watch it, was like, I saw people talking about, like, tweeting about this awkward interview, and it hadn't aired on the West Coast yet. So I was like, oh shoot, let me set the DVR. Let me see it. What's up, Lava? Welcome. Did you see the by any chance, did you catch the Larsa Pippen interview with Tamron Hall? Okay, that's what we're talking about. So any thoughts on that? Do y'all think that with Larsa going on this show, and I haven't watched Real Housewives of Miami in years, since like maybe the first season, so I don't really have an opinion about her, but with her going on this show, do you think that Tamron was getting a little too personal, or do you think that's what you should expect? Do you think that's good interview style? Like, you asking the questions we want to know.
I think she went
they
on.
were going to ask her.
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
agree with you. I think she probably went on Tamra thinking, because Tamra's like a very light show. Tamron's show. It's very light, very.
Is it?
Yes.
She's not as assertive as other is. She's very light and flowy.
Okay.
She was assertive on this interview.
And so here, yeah, exactly. So here she's being very assertive, and this is not probably what was expected, but I think that had to be expected, because again, the relationship was something everybody's wondering about. What is, how is it being accepted through the family? And I mean, everybody's wondering.
Tamron was like, how's his parents? We saw the clip of her saying, how's his parents taking it? But she was like, how is Scotty taking it? How are your kids taking it? Blah, blah, blah. It was just really
all of that.
Yeah, she was really just like,
she probably felt bum rushed because she probably didn't anticipate.
Right.
But what do you think they're going to talk about? Like,
right, I was going to say, Larsa has something that's going on for herself, does she?
Oh, no, I get it. But I'm saying she probably was clutching her pearls like, oh, girl, I came on this particular show because you're not like everyone else.
So I do watch Real Housewives of Miami. I'm watching it rebooted last season.
Right.
Second season of the reboot. Larsa was on season 1 and then she left. So she didn't do seasons 2 and 3. And then it went away for 10 years and she returned for the reboot. Larsa doesn't like to involve. So while she was away, she became really close to the Kardashians and she was on that show a lot. So there was some resentment from at least one of the other women that you went away, you did your thing and you got extricated, the Kardashians tossed you to the side and now you're back over here trying to hang with us again. And one of the women kept bringing up Kanye, that she had seen Kanye's penis in a bathroom and it's
wow.
Larsa was just very clear with her. I don't want to talk about Kim. I don't want to talk about Kanye. I'm not in this situation to talk about other famous people that I'm close to. So I think that's kind of a boundary that she set. She doesn't want to speak about other famous people. And if she's dating this boy, she doesn't want to say something that's going to offend his father.
Right. Young man.
You already offended the father. Amen.
She probably like, look, I'm not trying to have y'all mess up my stuff. I'm not trying to talk about them.
Because I did know she said, he's my friend and we have a nice time together. I was just like, okay.
Which now she's saying they were friends and then they fell in love. It's like, because Tamron was pressing her about that. Tamron was pressing her about that too. Like, oh, when did you start dating him? When did you meet him? And Larsa was like, oh, everyone thinks I knew him all his life. No, I just met him 4 years ago. And Tamron was like, oh, y'all just met 4 years ago? Really? Really? Like, she would not let the answers go. It was like, oh, you say this, but are you sure? Are you really sure that you met him 4 years ago?
That's good interview skills. She needs to do that.
I liked it. I liked it. I
Go,
was
Alicia.
I was thinking back to when we were talking about Potomac, and I think Antrice, you had mentioned that there was a call for the Potomac to have a Black woman host, and I was like, that's who should have hosted the reunion,
Right?
Because she wasn't letting nothing go. Like, and when they started talking about Housewives, and she started bringing up all these negative notes that she was reading about Larsa, she was just like, I wouldn't want to be friends with somebody who tried to ruin my marriage or call me promiscuous and stuff. Could say Larsa was really uncomfortable, and she was like, I don't want to talk about this. And Tamron was like, you don't want to talk about the show? Like, why are you here?
Tamron Hall, if that's your name, I don't know if I'm saying it right. You're not Diane Sawyer. You're not Barbara Wall. Like, come on, girl. If this is a daytime, I'm assuming it's a daytime.
Yes. It's like at what, 12 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lights, like
1 o'clock.
But you know what? I noticed
It's very light.
She was
like, that's an ambush, Marnita. Come on.
It did almost feel like that, but I was like, if you live like this, I can't feel sorry for you. And she was on they went to commercial break 3 times while she was on there. So I was like, you were booked for a good portion of the show. I thought it was going to be a quick interview. Like, I kept hearing about it, and I was like, oh, let me watch this interview real quick. And I was like, how long is she going to interview her? This is like 3/4 of the doggone show. So I was like, if you're booked for that long, you got to know they're going to go in. Like, what did you think we was going to talk about?
Unless she didn't know she was going to be on that long, but I don't know how they
Right.
I'd be like, I got to go.
And maybe they could with Tamron Hall, because maybe Tamron Hall that she was gonna get like some sort of exclusive thing. Maybe she thought they would explain more stuff.
She did. I mean, it's trending.
And then Larsa comes on there and barely gives one-word answers. You can interview somebody who only
she
gives you
could have
one-word
been
answers.
frustrated. Yeah,
we need a conversation. you know?
Yeah.
And there are commercial breaks. They do break in between these interviews. She could have said, deuces, I'm not doing this anymore.
Well, I don't know if you heard me before you came on, or I might have said this before you came on, Lava. During the commercial break, Larsa did apparently say to Tamron, I feel like you're being really negative.
Yeah,
Tamron
I did hear you say that.
Tamron announced it, but she didn't apologize for it. She was like, I don't feel like I'm being negative. Explain yourself.
And let's continue on.
Yeah.
right.
So
I mean, again, this is an interview, and even if maybe she was ambushed or whatever, but what did you think they were going to talk about? This is a relationship again that everybody feels is questionable, or that there's a conversation about this relationship, right? What do you think they're going to talk about in this interview?
Exactly.
Right, and the show was about
she
love.
lives her life on a reality show, for goodness sake. So
I do think the Marcus Jordan questions are fair, because that's obviously a big story. But if you see she's tense about that, do you need to pile on with the negative parts of her conversations with it seemed to me like Tamron Hall had a vendetta against
Tamron Hall. She has ratings to deal with.
It might be a little.
She got bills to pay. She got a mortgage to pay.
I do want to look into their history. I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy the interview, but I do want to look into, like, have they crossed, because another thing she brought up, and I know we're at time, I'm sorry. Another thing Tamron Hall brought up, she was like, oh, your son is on the Lakers and you used to date one of his teammates. Like, how does that feel?
The slut shaming.
Maybe Tamron has a son that she dated too.
Tamron want to be down, and she looking at
maybe. And then she was like, you're on an adult website and you show your feet. Tell me about
girl, do you want to come up? Like,
oh, Larsa told her, she was like, you should join the site. There's all kind of people. And Tamron's like, no, but I'm not saying she was like, I'm not shaming anybody who does it. Maybe I'll do it in the future, but no, I'm not doing it. She was like, who takes the pictures of your feet? She's like, my kids. And she was like, oh, so you don't want to put your kids on the show, but you let them take pictures of you for this adult site.
Her kids are on the show. Like, Tamron needs to calm her ass. I should have been there with Larsa, because
I didn't even know Larsa did it.
Real Housewife piece she's gonna protect.
Is Larsa short for money? does Larsa need money to be doing this little feet site? Like,
I guess it was.
She says she makes $10,000 a day on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I was looking at my feet like, let me go get a
Because
pedicure.
the other wives tried to shame her, and she's like, "Girl, I'm making money, so
Listen,
sit back."
do what you gotta do.
She bought this gorgeous, gorgeous condo in the sky in Miami. And she said she was very proud to say she paid for that with her money, not her divorce settlement money.
Right. And they did bring that up. I think they brought up a clip of that because she has a dog collar line and a jewelry line. So they did bring that up. So I guess in fairness, maybe she thought she was going to talk more about those things.
not for 30 minutes. But so what does her boyfriend do? What does whatever his name is?
Basketball.
Oh, he plays professional basketball?
Doesn't Marcus Jordan play ball?
I don't think so.
He doesn't?
Does he?
Oh, I actually don't
Wait,
know.
doesn't he? I thought he does.
He was.
Hold on, let me look this
It
up.
don't seem like he ever got time for it. He always up under her hip. So like, how was he get time to play professional basketball?
You say all up
They
under her
on
feet?
break.
Let me look at this up.
Oh, he was a college basketball player.
Oh, okay.
Well, she said, Tamron said something about him having a store, but I didn't know if it was a real store or if it was just like his
An
own little
online
shrine
kind
to his
of
father.
thing. Well, I don't know. I just think even if
Oh, no,
they
he
were
owns
going
a
to talk
store.
about her
He was
line
a
of dog collars or whatever, I think her relationship would have to come up in this conversation.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think she just
sorry.
should have, her PR should have been like, don't ask about the parents. Don't ask
Yes.
about her ex.
Then don't come
There
on.
you go.
if you
Blame the
can't do
PR,
nothing.
not Tamron.
Bye.
She answered the questions though. Like, what did people want to know? Like, what did Michael say to you at dinner when you sat down?
Oh,
Like,
Okay,
come
I
on.
think it was
Don't
she just
play,
seemed
don't
uncomfortable
play
with the
angel,
questions.
Ms. Entreese. You
I'm
know if it was
exactly.
somebody else,
this
you
is,
want
this
the
is what I'm
info.
gonna say, Joe. If
Yes.
I'm on a national talk show and I'm asked about my new boo's parents, I'm gonna keep it light and bright, easy,
Yes,
and
I agree. I get you.
regardless of what the actual situation is, I'm going to be complimentary, light. Let's move on.
Right. Which
Yo,
she
I
tried to
agree
do,
with
but
you.
Tamron wasn't moving on. She was like, no, you sure they all right with it?
Maybe the issue
Come
was
out and say they're not all right with it. Okay.
right. Maybe the issue was Tamara didn't want her on the show to begin with. She's like, oh, I gotta interview this girl. Okay, I'm scared.
Maybe. She was like, y'all would never send me a housewife
I don't
again.
know.
Right.
Maybe she maybe she didn't get, like, sometimes they'll give you the questions in advance or whatever. She just seemed like she wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
To that depth,
Larsa.
maybe.
You feel like Larsa wasn't ready for the questions?
Maybe she wasn't to that depth, or
Yeah.
I guess.
No.
But
don't
I
think it
saw
was.
this special with Barbara Walters where she said, because she was famous at her point for doing those interviews with the most
Make you
famous
cry.
in the world. She would make them cry, and she said that the secret, I don't call it the trick. The secret is you spend the first 15, 20, 30 minutes talking about things they want to talk about.
Get them to open up.
Relax them. and
It's
get
called
them-
rapport building.
Yeah,
Mhm.
get them to trust you and feel comfortable with you, and then you ease into the more.
Then you ease
And you
the
whack
knife in
them
their
over the
back.
head.
Don't punch them.
Stick it to them.
She didn't have that time on her hands. You know what I mean?
She didn't. She was not fly with her hand.
Well, ladies, it has been a fun one. Lava, you joined late, but thanks for joining us.
But I'm here.
You're here.
That's all that counts.
That's
I'm
all
here.
that counts.
Yes, we appreciate it.
All right, viewers, we appreciate you coming around, laughing with us. Let us know what you think of the stories. Did you watch the Tamron Hall interview? Was it cringy like people were saying online, or did you like it? Let us know, and let us know what you want to hear us talk about. We are going to continue to talk about hot topics, but we're going to check out that SWV Escape show. So we're going to be working that into the next coming weeks. All right, guys, we'll see ya. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, comment, get in on the conversation. Bye.
All right. Good night.